What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at DataDash. Today is October 3rd of 2018. Well, folks, I hope you all are having a wonderful day today wherever you are. As you can probably tell, I'm not in my normal studio back at home in the US. I'm actually at a hotel here in Malta. I'm going to be attending the Delta Summit. And it's going to have a lot of cool people here. I think CZ from Binance and a few others are coming. But I'm going to be attending as a speaker at the conference on a few different panels. But anyways, it's 2:30 in the morning right now where I am. I'm completely jet lagged, completely thrown off from my normal time frame, but the show must go on. There's a lot of interesting things that we're going to be talking about here on the daily update. As always, we're going to be taking a look at market valuations as well as doing some TA on the market leaders. But outside of this, I want to spend some time to talk about some key things, really the momentum of Bitcoin at the moment, talking about the potential trade that I was looking at engaging with XRP and all the news that has come out with Swell, the Ripple conference. But along with that as well, I want to talk about traditional markets and a trend that I really think you all should be focusing on in regards to the commodity space. So anyways, let's go ahead and dive into the video and start off by taking a look at crypto markets. Over the past few hours, nothing too definitive in regards to trends in the market. A few players in the green, but for the most part, the market is in the red. Really, the big player here that I think we need to focus on is really XRP. XRP is not keeping up with the momentum that I think a lot of bulls are hoping for, and I'll talk a little bit about that later on within the update. But going on here towards market cap, again, quite neutral right now. We haven't picked up trend in the market. I think altcoins are generally waiting for a pickup in the price of Bitcoin, and it seems like we're not going much lower, we're not going much higher, we're really just going sideways at the moment. And there'll be a really big focus when we take a look at the TA side of things for not only Bitcoin, but obviously the overall market in regards to the momentum that we're seeing, and really watching what momentum does over the next few days, seeing as we're kind of in a low volume, low volatility market. Going here to market dominance, again, Bitcoin got its first real shot down back here in early to mid-September, and I'm thinking we have a very, very good chance, and we'll extend the chart here just to see a little bit of a repeat of history. But I think that we're going to see very much a repeat of what we saw back in December, not to the highest degree of what we saw in December. We obviously don't have the new liquidity like we did in December to have that money move from Bitcoin to altcoins, but I think you could very well see a depletion in market dominance here for some key players if we start to tick to the upside. And we've already talked about those indicators, and we'll revisit them as well as we go through the TA. So again, go ahead, just make sure you guys get that. Sometimes I know that get cut off by my webcam. But anyways, let's go ahead here, spend some time to talk about Bitcoin. And I want to talk not only about the key three things that we've discussed. We've been talking, if we turn on our drawings here, the three things that we need to see are generally a uptick above the 50 and 100 day, an uptick above the line of resistance and the 200 day. We have still not gotten that for Bitcoin at the moment, guys. As much as I want to be a bull on this market, I think we're down in the red. It's more likely that we could see upside from here. There's still very well a chance that we could revisit 6,000 if we do not pick up the pace here over the next few days. And that's not helping that we're seeing a decline in volume here. It's good that it's not serious sell-side volume. Institutions aren't dumping towards 6,000, or at least whales aren't. But there's not enough buyers coming in just yet. And that could be a very worrying sign. It could just be as well that the fact that maybe traders are waiting to get above this line of resistance before they start getting more optimistic. Again, there's just no trend right now. We don't fight, the current market stance right now. Things are going sideways. We haven't picked a determinate trend. So until then, I'm not going to be picking a certain side. But I do want to talk about something that I am going to be watching that I think is a very underestimated but very overly used indicator in the general sense of trading view. A lot of people love this indicator, and I'm thinking about doing a video talking about it in the future. It's what's known as the squeeze momentum indicator. Some of you have been asking me about this as I've been showing it in my videos as of recent, and it's one of many indicators I've used in the past. I don't tend to have it up usually. There's a lot of indicators that I don't get to have when I'm detailing things because TradingView has a limit, and I don't like to cloud my charts with indicators, but really dependent on different time periods in markets, I will use specific indicators. And I want to talk a little bit about the squeeze momentum indicator and talk a little bit how to read it, but also just how effective it can be for Bitcoin in some cases. So let's go ahead and take a look at the last two peaks here, really the last two significant peaks for Bitcoin right here and here for price. And you can maybe talk about down here, but I think honestly this wasn't a serious uptrend, nor has it really been for over here. We can see here, though, for the past two times that Bitcoin has had has had really an uptick and then also a correction in the market. The squeeze momentum indicator is a really, really nice indicator. So to get into the technical jargon, we'll talk about that later on when I do a trading tip video on it. It has to do with Bollinger Bands and another indicator that comes out to picking up squeezes and momentum and really flipping market tones here in regards to where price is going to be moving. But we can see here that there's extremes on both sides. The squeeze momentum indicator can have these rallies to the upside, and it can start to roll over and then start to hit into bearish territory where we can start to see more fear coming in the market, more volatility, and then also we can have turns vice versa. We can start to turn more towards a neutral position, less volatility in price, and possibly have a trend towards the upside. And we can see here that there's these orange and white dots. These are the colors that I predominantly choose. You can, again, adjust these all you like. But basically, when you have these white dots here, this is generally what's known as a squeeze. This is when we can pick up that, it is very likely that we have an upcoming squeeze here in price, that market momentum is going to shift. And we can use this in those two regards. We can use this for the extremes when, for example, here we can start to see momentum rolling off on both the upside and the downside, but also for potential squeezes, changes, and trends. And it's interesting. Take a look here, guys. We take a look at the chart here, and actually not just in the past 2 times, but really the past 3 peaks, we can see when the squeeze momentum indicator died off that this was a general sign of a further downtrend. And also vice versa for flipping up here, we can see that once we got the white dots here, we changed trend to the upside, and then also as it started to stagnate here, we didn't really make new highs, and we started to see momentum dying off. Same goes down here as well, when we start to see a reversal here. We could get, sometimes it doesn't always work. Again, on the, I would say more than anything, it's really good for picking up when momentum's dying off from the upside. But again, sometimes you can spot smaller trades here. And it's not a one-all indicator as well, so you want to use stop losses on this, guys. But we can see generally that when the squeeze momentum indicator dies off, that this is when we can start to pick up peaks in the market. So it's a very interesting indicator to use. And now we're starting to get towards a contagion point. As we've talked about, momentum in this market and volatility is not showcasing. We're really starting to get more narrow here. Again, kind of a rough estimate here with the lines, but we can generally tell that momentum it's dead in this market right now. We don't have any great rallies coming in. People are selling the rallies, and people are also buying in shorter on the dips. So the question is here is, where's the trend going to come in, and what is that trend going to be? Again, I'm not going to speak definitively, guys, until we get it. My general stance here, my summary, is that I'm staying in positions that I'm in right now. I'm stacking up on a few altcoins that I like. I'm trading when I find opportunities. But at the moment, I'm not going to go bullish or be confident that we're going to see a major rally to 10K to 20K for Bitcoin until we get above the 200-day. And that's coming down. It's getting closer and much more reasonable. And also, I'm not going to get confidently bearish in this market until we pass down past 6,000. Okay, just right now, there's no trend in the market. I don't fight it as a trader. That's what a smart trader does. You don't fight trends. You want to ride the trends more than anything. And if there's not one, don't let the market, don't let the whales on BitMEX keep, liquidating you out of your trades while you're trading on high margin. Play smart with your money, and don't fight the system. Again, just go with it in that sense. So, anyways, at the moment, I'm waiting for a real clear pickup trend here on the momentum indicator getting above here, and I think you'll get that if you get above the indicators that we talked about, the line of resistance and the moving averages. But until then, again, remaining patient and vigilant. Now, talking about, altcoins here, I want to spend some time to talk about some of the major players here. I won't run through too many because there just really isn't much of a shift in the market. I'll go through a few of them and talk about my current trades. But we'll go through Ethereum here. Ethereum generally rolling over, not picking up too much momentum. I think more than anything, I'm not going to get eager on Ethereum until this gets a bounce up above the 50-day and maintains it as support, which wouldn't be too difficult. But volume has ever since stagnated. Again, we're not getting any serious sell-side volume, nor are we getting the buy-side volume that I think we're hoping for. So it's very likely we could get this to come down and test this level as a double bottom here. I will remain patient and vigilant until then on adding Ethereum until we see that, or if we see a rebound up onto the 50-day and maintenance of support on that range for that indicator. So until then, I'm not doing anything. But again, you can use the momentum indicator here. We definitely got a nice rebound off the lows, but we're not seeing a continuation of that momentum. So remaining patient on Ethereum, but more than anything, I think people are really eager to learn a little bit about what's going on with XRP and what I personally believe is going on with XRP. Well, not only we're going to talk about the squeeze momentum indicator, it's really good, especially for something like this that is a momentum play. At its heart, XRP, Tron, Verge, all these cryptocurrencies, they're momentum plays. Whether you like them fundamentally or not, they make massive moves in very short periods of time. And it's very important to realize that as a trader and understand how these things work instead of holding bags of XRP for months and months. It's waiting for those moments where it starts to make movement. So ride the trends when they're there. Don't fight the trends. Going on though to talk about XRP. We just had the Swell conference. Many people have been looking forward to that. Many people came into it saying, hey, buy the hype, sell the news. Look, more than anything, I think that this wasn't a clear buy the hype, sell the news kind of event like a lot of people were kind of referencing to. But more than anything, it was just kind of a disappointment. There really wasn't much optimism that came out of Swell's conference that I think people were expecting. Now, again, maybe there's some more developments to come in the near future. I don't want to speak down to it, but guys, I'm not giving up my opinion here. You can look at the price of the chart. There wasn't anything that was a catalyst that carried the price higher. Now, I will say, if we go through the news here, we'll go back to the TA side of things. They did announce that there are 3 companies that are now using XRP commercially and using XRapid in this case. And the 3 companies listed, I think we can get the list here. We'll look at them in just a second. Or Mercury FX, which works in the FX space for Forex, and generally the FX stands for Forex. But you've also got Qualix, which is a Mexican remittance payment company. And then you've also got the 3rd company here. I think it was listed down here a little bit. I'm trying to get the name. I've got it up here. Catalyst Corporate Federal Credit Union, which manages and does services for well over, I think, 1,000 credit unions. So I think more than anything, that's the big client here, as much as it's not a well-known company from what I know of. But more than anything, I think people were disappointed because out of these 3 companies, there wasn't any major commercial bank. Like if you had, for example, Bank of America, or you had UBS or some kind of well-known, renowned international bank using Ripple or XRapid. I think that's what people are looking for here, because we've been hearing how, for example, the CEO of Ripple Labs has been talking about how he thinks by the end of the year, dozens of banks are going to be using XRapid and using Ripple and XRP. Look, no matter if they do or not, guys, I got to give credit here. There's some real actual adoption here. This is nice to see that's actually that there's actual real corporate clients adopting, the Ripple products, and then hopefully in the case of XRapid, they're going to be adopting XRP for transactions. Again, we'll have to see. And I'm trying to be neutral and fair here, as much as I'm not too big in the long term on trading, what I think banks are going to be using. I'm more towards the decentralized cryptocurrency space that is purely peer-to-peer digital currency. But again, it's better than a lot of the ICOs out there that aren't getting any actual corporate clients or real adoption or have functioning products and technology. So I just think more than anything that there wasn't enough momentum going into this event. And the big thing I want to take away from it, guys, as a trader, not only is the momentum dying off here, and there's not much volume trading on Ripple, we can even take it here to Binance to see that case for volume. Again, not as much trading as there was the other day. But I want to go back here and take a look at Bittrex, because not only do we have a double top here, guys, but let's take a look at historically what the squeeze momentum indicator tells us. We know this is a momentum play. Every time this continues, when we start to see a turning point in momentum, it is the end point for the uptrend. As we can see here, as we can see here. And over here, we did not continue that momentum. This is not like the previous 2 rallies here, as much as I would like to believe that. I think this is going to probably come down. Not to mention, as a trader, I'm weighing in these factors. We're well above the 200, 150 day here. Momentum is dying off. Volume's not coming in. The big event just came in for Ripple. And I see a double top in the price. I mean, this is definitely not giving me much positive signs as a trader. So what I would say that you're going to be looking for is this to come down to the 200 day and then potentially down to the 100 day and 50 day. Again, if there's not more news continuing, guys, if there's not enough things to cause FOMO or excitement, you're not going to see a higher price here. So I'm waiting for the 200-day here before I even consider doing a trade, but I'm really not thinking about doing much of a trade in this. It's the reason why I didn't engage in it. I didn't see momentum continuing with the necessary volume. Alrighty, so now that we've talked about that, I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about what I am currently trading in at the moment, just to let you all know what I think is probably one of the better plays. Again, just my opinion. Going on there, a lot of people had asked me about Verge. I had closed in my position of Verge due to the fact that there was some resistance at the 100-day the other day, and along with that, more than anything, this is still a market where, seeing as Ripple wasn't continuing the momentum, I didn't feel confident in holding in something that had already had a really nice rally and was one of the few players in the green. So it exited out around 250 Satoshis as the momentum couldn't keep up, and it started to go below some of the moving averages on the 5-minute and on the hourly, which are some of the short-term indicators that I use to continue momentum. And so far, it's been a good exit so far. Now I want to focus in on what I am trading at the moment, which is Nano. Now Nano, if we take a look here on the daily, is riding along an indicator that it needs to hold. Again, if it breaks far away from this, like let's say for example goes towards the lower $3,000 or 3,000 Satoshi range, or excuse me, 30,000 Satoshi range, I'm going to probably exit. But at the moment, I want this to hold on the 100-day, and so long as it does that, as the 100-day starts to flatten out, I think you have a very good chance of this possibly bouncing up to the upside. Now, my range for this is towards towards the 200-day here. I'm just going to let this ride, and I'm going to trail my stop as I go up, hopefully so long as it goes up in price. But again, more than anything, I'm looking at this on the weekly here, and again, the strong rebound we had in this market. There's little to no players in this space right now that are trailing above their 100-day moving average. It's a very, very good sign here in this market, especially after that sharp rebound. And the volume has been quite nice here, which was relatively stagnant. We've started to see volume return back to Nano here. So I'm keeping an eye on it. I've got a position in Nano. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. I think it needs to get above the 50-day to get really resilient in regards to confidence, and it needs to make support and keep up with the 50-day. But at the moment, I think it's a decent trade in regards to my risk to reward profile. So that's what I'm currently trading. So going on here, now that we're done with generally talking about crypto, guys, I want to go ahead and run through the major indices. Right now for equities, the only thing that's looking quite optimistic is the Dow Jones here. It's testing past its highs and is looking for, at least out of all major 3 indices, is looking possibly for newer highs. If we take a look here to the daily, again, I keep on getting this alert here because I have my other trading view chart. That's one thing gosh, yes, don't show this again. Reload. I swear. It's something about TradingView. It does this all the time, and now it's got me back on my Nano chart. Anyways, going on here to talk about the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is looking like it might be testing. Again, we're going to have to see how the market opens up, if the futures are reading nice, if it's going to test for new highs. But I got to tell you guys, the 2 indices I wouldn't be trading on right now are the S&P 500, which again has been looking like it's topping out for the past week. And along with it as well, the NASDAQ here. The NASDAQ is looking quite nasty here. It couldn't even make it back up to its highs. And if you get a breach on the 50-day, that's when, again, I think we're going to start to pick up a negative trend, at least in the short term. It could potentially have a shorting opportunity in the market. But at the moment, no breach on the 50-day, no trend at the moment. So until we get a trend, I'm not getting fully bearish. Now, I do want to focus more than anything on commodities, guys. And we'll run through gold and silver because these are not the 2 that I'm really focused on. Gold, I'm waiting for a break above 1220 and a break above the 100-day here. So generally around the same range. I think when you get the price towards that range, testing 1220, you're going to have the 100-day relatively close. I need a break on both of those before I make a trade to 1280 for an ounce of gold. Along with that as well, silver. Silver, I think more than anything, is the real out of the 2, in my opinion. Again, you got to determine for yourself, guys, if you agree. But I think we've retested a key support level here. And again, look what happened here when we held support at $14 an ounce. We went all the way up to $21 an ounce. So I think a lot of traders are eager about that. We're seeing the same kind of quick cusp and momentum here, and we're above the 50-day. So I want to see this hold in the 50-day, and if we can hold it for the next week, I think there might be a potential opportunity for silver to move. Again, the momentum here has switched, and I want to spend some time to really talk about the key play that I've been waiting patiently on for quite some time, which is URA. Again, historically, URA has been holding here at this line of support. We've been talking about uranium ever since I did my video on uranium fever. Momentum is definitely looking nice here, but more than anything, I want to talk about the spot price here, guys. Look at the spot price for uranium. We're finally starting to pick up pace here and get close to about $30 per pound. And if that continues to pick up, I think you could very well see the momentum in the uranium market. Now, I know some of you are interested in playing URA specifically for just a broad index of some companies that can be related to uranium throughout the entire process. They're not just uranium miners. But again with that as well, you guys can play a lot of the uranium miners as well. For example, you can play, I think sorry, I'm getting all my symbols. You can do UEC, for example. I mean, there's a lot of different uranium mining plays that you guys can go through, but I'd recommend you analyze the fundamentals, look at projects that are expanding into this market that aren't retracing their projects. You can look at, for example, Cameco, if you're looking for more established companies as well. So again, do as you like. Again, I'm not going to dictate or tell you guys what to buy here, but again, play the longer swings in markets, guys. Take a look at this. I mean, we've got some serious players here in the uranium space that are still at relatively low positions due to the fact that uranium prices obviously had been on the decline for the past decade. But this might be the point when we start to see a trend reversal, when we start to see a higher spot price. Not to mention, people have been talking and debating about the spot price and potential manipulation with it in regards to keeping it lower. So the demand might be growing even faster than we can possibly see in the spot price. But again, I'm no expert in regards to the commodity field. I don't know enough to talk about it in claim manipulation or not. But the big thing here, guys, I mean, you can just generally see it here. Play the longer term trends here, right? We've been holding at these lows for quite some time with URA. The spot price of uranium is flattening out. I think we've got a potential breakout opportunity here, but it's a matter of patience and waiting for the trend to start. Anyways, that's it for the video, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. In between all my rambling, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that there's a potential play in the uranium market? Do you guys think that the news that came out for Ripple is big? Do you think that XRP is going to be a big breakout for XRP? And also, what do you all think about Ethereum and Bitcoin and overall tones in the crypto market? Love to hear what you all think down below in the comments. But until the next video, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Stay tuned.